Welcome to For the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary, and I raised my glass too soon, but that's okay.
That's all right. It's all right. If people are listening to us, they couldn't see it anyway.
Oh, well.
If they're watching us, then they did see you do that.
Yes, I
It's
messed
fine.
up.
It's fine. You can send us an email to pourthewine.itsromcomtime@gmail.com and let us know your thoughts about anything Hallmark related. We are winding down with The Way Home, and we are just starting summer nights. So let us know what you think about Hallmark programming so far in 2026.
Please do. And if you want to help other Hallmark fans find our podcast, you can do that by giving a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify and leave a review. But if you want to watch us over there on YouTube at Pour the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time, don't forget to click that bell and that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our episodes.
Today we're going to be reviewing episode number 8 of the final season of The Way Home.
Only
It is
2
called
left.
Tainted Love.
Ooh.
It originally aired on the Hallmark Channel on Sunday, June 7th, 2026, and you can catch all the first 3 seasons on Netflix, and you can catch all 3 seasons plus what's aired on season 4 so far on
Right.
Hallmark Plus.
Yep. Oh, goodness.
If you need to catch up.
On all the streaming platforms. There you go. It's sad because we only have 2 left after this one.
Well, it's not all the streaming platforms.
No,
It's
I know,
Netflix
I
or
know,
Hallmark
I know.
Plus.
It just feels like it.
I know.
All right, this episode was written by Michael Hanley and directed by Michelle Lenimere.
All right.
So let's drop the synopsis.
Kat tries to figure out what's next while Elliot learns more about Tessa and reconnects with his mama.
With his
Well,
mom.
says mom, but I just threw in mama.
Oh my God. And this is a part of the podcast where we tell you, if you haven't seen this episode yet, turn us off, go watch it, come back and let us know because we're probably going to drop some spoilers. No, we probably will.
Not
We will.
probably.
We will.
We will. You have to start saying we will
On this type of...
on this
yeah.
series.
So
Because, I mean, I don't even know how we would talk about it.
you can't.
I don't even know. Except we'd be like, well, we like the episode. We're done.
I know. It's hard. It's hard not to drop little surprises here and there, but are you ready to dive into it?
All right. So we ended the last episode number 7. Casey and Sam have a connection.
Yeah, they
Right?
do.
Dell and Sam have professed their love for one another. Jacob and Abby shared a kiss.
Oh my goodness.
Elliot doesn't jump into the pond to go back to the present with Kat. He stays in 1925.
Yeah,
and
he does.
Kat and Alice discover the newspaper articles that Elliot was looking at, and they realize that there is a picture of him in one of the newspaper articles, and he has been arrested as the Big Fish.
Let's be honest. He
Right?
he four-fingered, one thumbed those papers home. That's what he did.
Yeah, okay.
Let's call it what it is.
He did. Well, he didn't bring the paper. He brought a lot of a couple of the papers were the actual
Right. He
newspaper,
did bring the
but
one.
he did bring a lot of copies.
Yeah.
So he's going to return them. I know it.
The big fish one he stole.
Yeah.
Let's just be
Oh,
honest.
yeah. Well, it's him, technically. And Alice tries to throw a film away that has her mom in it. She is in, what year was she in?
79 into 80 because it was New Year's.
Into 80, right. And then we had the whole key is the key of it all with the note that was found in the piano.
Yeah, and in the piano. Okay, so let's start with the opening.
All right. So are we going to talk about this one? Are we going to go chronological or do you want to go?
Well, last time we did by the year.
Right.
So let's do it again.
Do it by year?
Yeah, let's do it by year again.
Oh, okay. All right.
Unless you want to go chronological.
No. I
or-
just need to see where do we end up? We end in the present. So we'll do that last.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about 1925 because that's where we start.
Oh, yeah.
We start in 1925 and we get a replay of the pond scene, not a previously on.
Right.
It's actually part of the episode. They show you where Elliot makes the conscious decision to not jump.
Yep. And yes. And him and Tessa are having a conversation. And again, he asked, why did you do it? And
Well, he goes back to the house, and Fern and Tessa are in the house, right?
right.
Right. And Fern is upset with Tessa. Oh, you mean the beginning part.
Yeah, the beginning part.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. That's my
Hey,
fault.
that's okay.
That's
You know,
my
you
fault.
do
That's
you,
my fault.
girl. You do you.
I am shutting up.
But
For a minute. No,
but
you're right.
they do have a
reshowed.
conversation, and it's like a reshow of last episode where he says, why did you do it? And she tells him it was the best thing at the time.
Right.
Now we can
You
move
are
on.
right. Write it. Put it down in your calendar.
No, why? It's being recorded right here, so I
Oh,
don't
that's
have
true.
to.
It's on the recording.
I
You
have
were
proof.
correct. I'm sorry.
And when I post it, we're gonna have thousands and thousands of our subscribers see this and hear it.
Right.
Our tens and tens of
Tens of tens.
subscribers. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Let's go into.
So then we go to the house, and Fern and Tessa are kind of in a heated discussion.
Yes, they are.
Fern is upset with Tessa because, the whole she's been lied to her
Mhm.
whole life thing.
Yep.
So they're having a discussion, and Fern is like, I have Grayson's film, and you can go be home with your son, because Fern just wants to end it all. They're at a place where Tessa could go back and be with Elliot, and
Right.
she's with Grayson, so everything is good,
Right.
air quotes, right? And then Elliot walks in. And Tessa is not happy to see Elliot.
Nope. Because now he's stuck.
Right.
But you know what's interesting is all these conversations happen in the Landry kitchen.
Mm-hmm. The
In-
kitchen
in
table,
each
that
time
kitchen
period.
area
Yeah.
is a very popular
Remember, Dell
discussion.
said the kitchen was where it was at.
That's right. The kitchen parties. So then you have Tessa isn't happy, and doesn't she tell Elliot something like, you guys have made a real mess of things,
Right.
and then she walks off, and then Elliot and Fern are on the porch, another area where we have a bunch of conversations.
Oh my goodness.
We love a good front porch, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
We have all kind of conversations on the front porch.
And Elliot is sort of at a crossroads, because he wants to have a relationship with his mom, right? But
Right. He doesn't know what
Help
to do.
me.
He doesn't know what to do, doesn't know what
He
to
do-
say. And
right.
the interesting part about this is they're out there talking, him and Fern, and he's kind of like, oh God, maybe I messed up. What am I going to do? Where am I going to stay
that's
now?
right. I couldn't bring it to the front. That's why I'm like,
Right.
help me.
Sorry. I was kind of having
No.
a moment.
No, you're good.
Anyway,
No, I was having
but-
a moment.
So he's like, oh my God, where am I going to stay? And to be honest, I was thinking the same thing. And then because that's Cliff. Cliff is staying there, right?
Right.
So
Cliff is staying at Landry.
Fern is like, oh, honey, you can stay here. You can be Cliff's roommate. Wow. And on that note, that's when Cliff drives up.
Well, I think right before we see him, Fern tells Elliot we can't tell Cliff about what are they doing? Meeting at the
Cove.
Cove for the
Right.
new shipment or whatever's
Mhm.
coming in and happening.
Or meeting at the where the Augie boys are. Their little hideout.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
The location, the house, or why are words hard for me tonight? Oh my gosh, it's going to be a long night. Okay.
All right. So she tells Elliot that he can be the roommate with Cliff. Cliff arrives, and they are now, they're now roommates. And Fern calls him Tom. She introduces Elliot as Tom Buchanan.
Yes.
So now we know how Tom Buchanan
became Tom
became
Buchanan.
Tom Buchanan.
Because Fern gave him that name.
Right.
Right.
And
And Cliff says, sure was nice though seeing you on this porch at the end of my day. It's so
Aw,
cute.
he
It's so
loves
cute.
her, man.
I know. I know.
And then he tells her about the award he's supposed to be getting.
Right.
And he's going to be going into town or somewhere in a hotel overnight. So then we move on to the next scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Elliot walks into the Augie boys' camp,
Yep.
letting them know that he is Cooper's son. And if you got any problem with that, talk to Mama. Because
Take it
she'd
up with
take me.
her. Take it up with her.
Because
Right.
she will throw you off the train.
And he has volunteered himself to join them,
Yep.
basically. And then they're both like, okay.
And what's interesting, did you notice the man behind them who was loading the truck?
I did not,
Yeah,
but you
suspicious,
did.
suspicious. Mm-hmm. Sure
You noticed
did.
it. You
Mm-hmm.
noticed it.
Sure did.
I'm going to say you called it. I did not, of course, which is not surprising. All right, so we'll stay in 1925. Elliot
Right.
is making dinner for he's made dinner for Cliff and
Mm-hmm.
for Fern, and Cliff is trying to get out of Elliot like, so where are you from exactly? What farm? And
He's
Fern, like,
always
she's
trying.
so good at like changing the
She
conversation. She's
is.
like,
She's
let's not
really
worry
good.
about that. And so she gets Elliot to go play the piano, and
Right.
she starts to sing Tea for Two.
Oh,
Oh, it was so
man.
good. And then Fern and Cliff dance while Elliot is still playing the piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elliot starts playing Time After Time
Cyndi Lauper.
by
Oh, my
Cyndi Lauper.
goodness.
And he
Whew.
sings it, which was great.
Yes.
And Fern and Cliff are dancing to it. And Tessa has come into the house, but hasn't notified anybody that she's there.
Right.
And she's watching, and you can kind of see her sort of smiling, and she's sort of
Mm-hmm.
tearing up. And, you're not really sure. I mean, you just presume because she's seeing her son. And,
Right.
like, I guess not his element because it's not his time period. But,
Yeah.
and then Elliot and Tessa go on the porch and they have a conversation.
Right.
And, she says that basically the Augie boys have kept her up on his progress
Yes.
with him helping. So I'm not sure how much into the future we were.
Right.
Is that when we went to a month later, maybe?
It might have been.
Yeah, because
I think so.
we're skipping. We're kind of, yeah, so it might be. And, and is that when he asks her again,
Yeah.
why did she leave? Like, I just want one thing. And she basically says she was confused and scared,
And
but
that,
not of Vic. She was scared of herself. And I thought
right.
that was interesting. So,
Yeah, she kind of revealed some information there.
yeah.
Because she says she wouldn't recognize that girl who jumped so long ago.
Right,
Yeah.
right. She was scared of who she had become. And I
Mhm.
just think, we hear those things in this series now, and it's like, there's so much more they could explore.
Right.
There's so many
I know. I
storylines that
want to
we could
know.
get off
I
of
want to
these. And,
know. They should have a spin-off
I
or
know.
something.
Well, no, continue it. And then he asks her if she loved Vic. And she says that.
Yeah, because she also asked if he asked if Vic was good to her, or was she afraid of Vic? And she said no, he was a kind and good man.
And then she kind of tells the story about her and Griffin, how they jumped, they landed in 1882.
Yep, in Port Haven. Yeah.
And they found their footing, and then she had gotten sick, very sick, and Griffin jumped to go get medicine from his time period, but it never came back.
Nope.
So you have to wonder, do you think Griffin tried to jump several times to go find her? Because the pond only takes you...
Well, I seem to be getting it wrong every time, so I'm not I'm not gonna
I bet it's going to turn out
that
he did try to go back, but
I
that was
think
like
he
her
did
fate
and
to
just
stay.
couldn't go back because the
Yeah.
pond wasn't ready for him to go back.
Right.
Just like Elliot, Jacob could, Alice couldn't find Jacob for over 20 years. So yeah, I think he tried and couldn't make it. So
couldn't make it, right.
she had to make a life there, and she ended up walking over very ill to the Landry's home. And this is how she becomes friends or Auntie Coop with Fern.
Yeah, she becomes part of the Landry family. They take her in.
Yep.
And yeah, so we do get a lot of information there. I think in that one scene, which is really great. And then later we'll talk a little bit more about, because we think she did jump, but we don't know when. But you do find out more about that a little bit later, which we'll get to since we're staying in 1925. But and then
go ahead.
I was just going to say that Elliot then asks her about the letter that
Right.
she wrote about her being sick. And she's like, I didn't write a letter.
Right.
So, of course, we're like, ruh-roh.
Who wrote the letter and who
Who
delivered the
wrote the
letter?
letter? I think it was Griffin.
Well, it was either Griffin or I don't know. Do you think her and Jacob met each other during that time period in
I don't know.
1825? Because how did they
Her
find?
and who?
I don't even.
Jacob? Was Jacob in 1925?
I don't remember. 1825.
Oh, 1825, 1880. I don't know.
I don't know
Someone
what
will
time.
correct us. We're
Yeah.
getting our years wrong.
I'm
We'll just say
confused.
1800s. I don't know, but I don't think I think it's actually going to end up being Griffin, because if he jumped and went back to present day, right? And then he jumped again to try to get back to her and couldn't get back to her. If he tried to keep jumping, he might have written the letter to try to make it a little bit easier on Vic and Elliot. Like Griffin felt badly that he couldn't get back to help her come back to the present day.
But didn't we find out that it was Tessa's handwriting on the letter and in the?
Well, you assume it's Tessa's handwriting,
right? Well, that's
because
true.
they think the letter is from Tessa.
Right.
Oh, but then that would mean it was Griffin was there during that. That's a good point too, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's confusing.
Maybe Jacob. Maybe it is Jacob.
I don't know.
No, but he wouldn't have. I'm confused.
No,
Okay, sorry.
we'll skip that one because that's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole.
She says she didn't send it, but it was her handwriting, according to Alice and Kat.
No, they think it's her handwriting because her name is on there, Love Mom or whatever she signed
Right,
it.
but they
So
noticed that the handwriting was the same as the one in the almanac for the Landrys.
Right, and they're right.
So, anyways, then Tessa told Elliot she used to sing time after time to him, and that was their song.
I loved that.
Oh, that was a great rendition.
I love the scene.
No, I love the scene, but the song that Elliot sang, his rendition of it, it was so good. I loved it. I loved it.
It was really good. And you can kind of see Elliot's like, oh, I mean, it's just cool because, here he thought she just left him and she did have a connection with him, but he just didn't know about it.
Well, of course
not. So I think there's just going to be a lot more to her story in 2 episodes.
I know. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I hope they do it.
Right. So then Tessa tells Elliot he needs to be there for the shipment. He starts to tell her things about himself. He says he's moving in with Kat. He's a teacher.
Right.
And she's like, I always wanted to be an English teacher. And she says her favorite poet is T.S. Eliot.
Yes.
To which you said
T.S. Eliot was used throughout the series, and but Fern uses it. But we'll get to that point.
But you talked about Elliot's name.
Oh yeah, Elliot. That's where
and
Elliot gets his name.
You said, oh, that's his name. And I'm like, oh my God.
I know. It was so funny because we were sitting there watching it, and then she said T.S. Eliot, and I'm thinking Elliot. Oh, that's where Elliot got his name.
That's where Elliot came from. And still I'm sitting there like, what?
What?
Duh. Oh
no, that was funny. That was a wake up moment there.
That was like
that was a light bulb.
Face, like, duh. Ding. Oh my gosh, I know.
If we were,
and then she says one of her favorite quotes is, "I measured my life in coffee spoons."
Isn't that crazy?
Right. I think that I was like, or a life can be measured in coffee. I don't know the exact quote, but
yeah. I thought that
and
was
I was like, that's true too. How much coffee do we drink on the daily? And then Elliot mentions the clock in the wall. He says something about the clock in the wall. And Tessa's like, what?
What clock?
So now we're like, okay, so she's saying she didn't write the letter and she didn't have anything to do with the clock. Now we're really confused.
Very confused.
What happened was
somebody is doing something, and it's got to be Griffin or someone else. I don't know. And then Kat comes running up.
Kat finally makes it back to 1925. When we get to the present day, we'll see she has been trying and trying and trying, and it's more than a month later, and she finally makes it back.
Yay, I'm so glad.
Yeah. And I loved when, Elliot tells Kat, because she's upset thinking he kept everything from her on purpose, which he did,
Right.
but she didn't really appreciate that. But he's like, I didn't tell you that I saw my picture because I get arrested and I don't want you to be in any danger.
Right.
Like, I specifically didn't tell you. I wanted you to go back home and me to stay because I don't want to put you in that position.
Right.
And she's like, well, I would still come. And he's like, I know, I want to take care of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he does. He loves her. But I thought it was interesting because she wants to go back and he's like, no, I want to get to know my mom. And she's like, well, you're going to be in danger. And he's like, well, you did it when it was your family. But you want me to go back when it's my family. I thought that was intense.
Yeah, it was
that was
pretty
an
intense. And then,
moment.
Well, because he says something about how he's helping them, and she's like, "You're bootlegging now."
I know. That was so funny.
They get into a little fight, and she's like, "Tessa's setting you up."
Yeah, she's the one that left you.
Yeah,
and he's like, "I'm not leaving until the job is done." And gets up and walks away. He drops the mic.
And then a little bit later, we have this scene of Fern and Tessa. Coop, they're in the speakeasy. And Fern wants to tell Cliff everything because, Fern has caught some feelings.
Right.
Lots of feelings for little Cliffy.
Yeah, a whole bunch of feelings.
And, but Coop is like, no. And then Coop gives her a bracelet.
With a little key on it.
And it's a magical music at that moment, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
The music is so well placed.
It is.
And then Kat is there kind of watching them.
And listening, yeah.
And then when Fern goes to leave, she's like, oh, I got my bracelet. Because don't they talk about the bracelet at some point?
Yes. That's when Kat started jumping to find Fern. In one of the pictures, Fern has the bracelet. So when Kat jumped one time and Fern was at the pond, she said, where's the bracelet? I know you know Cooper. I know you know Tessa. And she's like, maybe it hasn't happened yet, which it hadn't happened. And that was the scene where it actually happens.
Yeah, where she's like, I realized I finally got it. And then Kat and Tessa have a chat, and, Kat's really giving it to Tessa, and Tessa keeps saying, you don't understand.
You're not a mom.
You're not a mom. And Kat's like, unlike you. Well, Kat says, unlike you, I wouldn't abandon Elliot.
Right.
And then she says she would never leave Alice behind. Right. And Kat turns around to leave, and Tessa says, Alice. And she, I think in that moment, is realizing
who Alice
is and who Alice was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right?
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
That was some good writing right there to catch those little nuances.
So do we want to hold off on the towards the end part of 1925, or?
Well, it's up to you. I mean, we got
they do kind of intersect. Well, then we're still in 1925, and Fern and Kat are at the farm. They're waiting for Cliff to leave because they and Grayson is there.
Right.
And Cliff is going to leave to go get his award. He's won a major award.
Ooh, a major one.
Oh, a major award. And Grayson's like, oh, tell me where you're staying. And Cliff says the St. Regis. And then not the St. Regis, the Regis. And when Cliff leaves, Grayson tells Fern and Kat that Cliff is lying.
Right.
Because the Regis closed. So now they know that Cliff
3 years prior.
Cliff isn't probably going away. He's probably on to the shipment that they're all going to.
The Augie brothers.
Right. The hideout or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. He's kind of on to them. So then now they're suspicious of Cliff.
Right. And that's when another light bulb goes off. And they all Kat realizes what's actually happening.
Oh, right. That's when they realize, I spoke a little too soon. Right.
Yeah.
And Fern says, Cliff isn't a liar. And if he is, why would he lie? And that's when Kat realizes.
Right.
That Cliff's a liar, pants on fire.
Pants on fire.
But there's a good reason for it.
Yep. All right. So do you want to continue in 1925?
Sure.
All right. So the next scene is Alice and Fern running up to Elliot at the Augie Boys' place. And that's when the bus goes.
Kat and Elliot. Okay.
Kat and Elliot. I mean, Kat and
Fern show up.
And where Elliot is, and he's at the Augie boys. They're loading a truck full of the liquor, and that's when the bus goes down. And the guy that I was talking about loading the truck in the one scene is actually undercover.
Right. And you literally are like, that's the guy from...
Yeah, from the one scene.
Yeah, from the one scene. He's back. He was undercover the whole time.
So, yes, Cliff was lying.
So then they have the raid going on. There's like some dramatic shooting at the Augie brothers, and one of them, and Elliot's like, no, it's my family. But then he tells the Augie brother to run.
His great-grandfather is the one that gets shot and tells them all to run.
So they proceed to take off, and Cliff finds Tessa, Elliot, and Kat at first.
Right.
And he's shocked. And then Fern jumps in front of them, and she's like, no, don't arrest them, and it actually is kind of a great scene in that Fern admits how she feels about Cliff, and she's like, I'm so sorry I didn't tell you, but I couldn't, and you saw me. She tells Cliff, you saw me, how I always wanted to see myself, and she's crying, and it's just
it's a very powerful scene. Yep. I agree.
Very, very powerful. Yeah.
Yep. And then what does Cliffy do?
He lets them go.
Yep, he lets them go.
He tells them to run. Right? He against his better judgment, but he says run because he's in love.
Yep. So now it's the next day, morning probably, and Elliot and Kat are outside of the Landry house by the tree, and Elliot tells Kat that Tessa's going to meet them at the pond later, and he thinks that they're all going to jump.
Yeah.
Well, Cliff and Fern are arguing in the house, which ends up outside. And this was another good scene.
Yes.
But Fern is trying to explain to him everything and gives him the piece of paper, which is very important.
Yes.
And this is the piece of paper that was wrapped around the piano key in the present time that the piano tech found. And Fern is confessing she didn't know what she wanted, but she does now. And this scene is so good because you could hear the music starting to build up.
Yes.
And you finished telling it because you're good at telling these stories. I can't tell it.
Let me find my notes for you. She says, here, she goes to hand him a piece of paper, and she's like, this will explain everything. And it is the paper that, like you said, was wrapped around the key, but it doesn't have Cliff's note on it yet. It's just the key on the front with the words. And, Cliff says he can't stay. He feels betrayed. Fern says the farm came alive.
Yes.
Came back to life when he showed up. He looked at those empty rooms and he saw life, and he brought everything back. And she wants him, and there's very dramatic music.
Yes.
And then they end up hugging.
They end up running into each other's arms.
And hugging, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was so great.
All right. So then we move to the pond, and it's Tessa, Elliot, and Kat. And Elliot is really hoping that Tessa is going back with them. And Tessa is like, I can't jump. My life is here.
Yep.
Like, what am I going to do there? I can't go with you. And then Elliot tells her that he's going to be back on New Year's Eve, and he wants her to meet him at the pond on New Year's Eve. Right. And then Kat and Elliot jump and go back to the present day.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So that's
1925.
That's 1925. All right. So that's a lot.
All right. So let's go to,
what was it? 1983.
All right. So we'll try to, and this isn't too terrible. Is it 83 or 82? I can't
This
remember.
one, I think is...
What year did we say Kat was born?
82.
So I think it's 82.
Yeah, you're right. It's 82.
82.
So Alice jumps, and she sees Dello, Colton, Evelyn, Tessa, and Vic. They're all having drinks under the pergola outside of the Landry home. And Tessa's pregnant, and Dell is now pregnant, we find out. And you can see on Evelyn's face, she's not happy. And she seems kind of sad. And they're having a discussion, and they're getting ready to toast. And Evelyn says, I'm done. I'm out. But meanwhile, Alice is watching this all behind a tree.
Right.
So, and the look on her face when she sees that Dell is pregnant was pretty good. It was priceless.
Right, right. She's very happy that she gets to witness that particular moment
Yeah.
because it's, it's happy times now for Dell and for
Mm-hmm.
Colton. And what's interesting too is Tessa's having a hard time with her pregnancy.
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah.
Vic says she's not sleeping and Tessa kind of plays it off. So I wonder if
Yeah.
there's going to be some of that plays into.
Well, remember when they were running in the woods from Cliff, Elliot had said, we have to wait for my mom. And Kat was like, no, why should we wait? She left you. And Tessa comes running up and says, no, she didn't. So was
Right,
she talking about someone else as his mother, or was
right.
she
And you
talking
thought,
about her in
yeah,
the third person or whatever?
yeah,
No, she
yeah.
didn't. So,
I wonder.
hmm,
I don't know if she was talking about herself. I think she was talking about herself. Like, no, she didn't. But maybe she was talking about somebody else. But then who is Elliot's dad
who's
or
right? Or
mom?
mom?
Or
Yeah,
mom? I don't
yeah. All right. So then
know.
we
Well,
get.
maybe that will end up playing into it. I mean, you never
Well, they
know.
only have 2 episodes left,
Yeah.
so somebody's got to do
So
something.
then, so then we get to Evie's excited to see Alice.
Mm,
Right? It's Evie's birthday. She says her parents have moved to Switzerland, but she
and
is all by herself in that ginormous
the Lingamore
Langmore
Manor or mansion, whatever you want to call
mansion
it.
or
Yep.
manor or whatever.
And
Yeah.
they gave it to her, so it's all
Right. Now,
hers.
Alice has asked her about the reel because she and her mom in present day, which we haven't talked about yet,
Yep.
realized that Evie
Mm-hmm.
probably had the reel
Right.
because it shows up in present day.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that Alice thought she threw away in the last episode. And Evie's like, that reel is gone. I was going to get it, but then Jasper said it disappeared.
Yes. It
So
went
now we
missing.
don't know, is Evie telling the truth? But she's really drunk at this point.
Right.
She's kind of drunk. So, it's the truth serum. So
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
she is
yeah.
telling
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah. That is true. And then the next scene is Alice and Evelyn again. Evelyn is she's a little jelly of Dell and Colton. Jelly.
Yeah.
She kind of liked Colton. Remember back in the early seasons, she kind of liked him, and she confesses about having a full life at 25. She goes, "I'm 25, and I've already had a full life."
Well,
Um,
because she's had a baby. She's
baby,
divorced. She's
she's
married.
divorced, she's
Divorced.
alone,
Right.
she's got a house.
Right.
But then she says, "Alice, you haven't aged at all. Who are you, Alice,
That's
in
a cute scene.
Wonderland?"
Who are you?
And she's kind of drunk when she's saying
Yeah.
this. So she's like, "Who
Yeah.
are you, Alice?" And as she's laying down, she says, "In Wonderland." So I
Oh,
thought
does
that,
she? I missed
yes,
that.
I thought
Okay.
that was an interesting say right there.
Oh, that's cute.
And
Okay.
so Evelyn
Good for her.
passes out. But here I thought this was good because Alice says to Evelyn, and of course, Evelyn's passed out after she passes out, "I'm still the friend who is always there for you when you need me."
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my God, that tore at my heart.
tore at your heartstrings, pulled at your heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah.
So then Alice goes back to Landry Farm and she sees Dell and Cole on the porch, and Dell is saying, to Colton, we're only here because of you, because you pushed me to move forward
Right.
after our hard times. And Alice is watching and crying and just really appreciating that she's getting to witness them
Right.
now during their happy times.
Yep. So she went through all the hard times and now she sees the happy times. So
Yeah,
now we're moving into the present time.
So in the present day, when we first start the episode, it's 1 month later. Kat has tried to jump in, and the pond will not take her.
Spits her
Will
back
not
out.
take her won't take her at all anywhere. She's still there, right?
Yeah.
So she's grappling with the fact that Elliot didn't tell her about the picture, and she can't understand why.
Right.
And then we have Abby and Jacob are in the loft in the barn. Now
Oh my
that loft
goodness.
is a character in this show.
It surely is.
The loft is seen a lot of times during
It
the
is.
series,
It
which I
has.
think
Pretty
is so
cool,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And they're still like hiding their relationship from
Mhm.
everybody. They're keeping it a secret.
Yep. And yeah, that was a good scene too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah. And she asked him, "Where did you come from?" And I was like, if she only knew.
If she only knew the truth. And then we go to the Point, which is the present day name of
Yeah, because
Coils.
they're having a party. Yeah.
And Alice is talking to Monica, and she's, Alice is feeling frozen in her writing,
Right.
right? Like she feels like she can't write. And Monica is, oh, I think that, are they at the party?
Yeah, they're at the point, and
Oh, okay.
it's Cat, Alice, Sam, Monica.
Right.
And
They're at the
Alice
party
is
time.
telling Cat that
Cat.
she feels like her songwriting has stalled, and Max was right. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, that was kind of a pity party.
And then Monica starts playing the film, and Kat and Alice start to freak out because they're going to see, they're both in the film
Right.
from the 1970s, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're going to see us. And then all of a sudden they realized it's been spliced together, and they have
Yep.
been completely cut out of the
Yes.
film.
So who
And
did
that's when they
that?
ask Monica where she got it, and she says Jude
Yeah, got it from Evelyn's estate.
Evelyn's estate sale.
Yes.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. So Evelyn did have it,
Mm-hmm.
or
so we think.
Or it ended up at her house.
Somehow
anyway.
it ended up at her house.
Someone put it there.
Yes.
And at the party, Dell has noticed the way Jacob and Abby are looking at each other.
Yes. That was so funny. And mothers know, right?
Mothers know. And then you fast forward to the next morning, and Dell is talking to Jacob, and Jacob fesses up and says, that he and Abby are really into each other. They've caught feelings, right? As the kids say these days. And, Dell's like, invite her to dinner.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to hang out in the dusty old barn. And Jacob's like, huh? You know about that? Kids are so
And she's like,
naive.
I do now.
I mean, parents know. They don't know everything, but eventually they do.
Yeah. That was so funny.
And
so then you get Alice and Kat are at the pond. Alice jumps in to go see Evelyn and just see what she knows.
Yes.
Whew.
Ooh, I know. There's just a lot. There's a lot packed into these episodes, people. A lot packed in.
Yeah.
And then we have Jacob and Abby. They're in the barn. And
back in the loft.
He tells her he wants them, he wants her to join him for dinner. And she's like, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's fine. I'm a marketing whiz. I can do this. I can handle it. I can handle one mother.
I dealt with $1 million contracts. And
it's like the epitome of it's going to meet the parents,
yes.
right?
I love it.
Especially
love that
the mom. As a female, going to meet the mom of the guy you're dating is always intimidating.
Yeah. And this is where Jacob decides to tell her he loves her. Oh my God. And the good thing is she says it back.
She says it back. So
which I was so happy. They're in love, y'all.
Yeah. Yep.
So now we're at the dinner table with Dell, Sam, Jacob, and Abby.
Ooh, this is a great scene. This is a great scene.
I think this is probably my favorite scene because, when you're sitting there and you're meeting the parents and you say the dumbest things that you don't mean to say, but they just come out wrong. That's what Abby did.
Yeah. And Abby kind of trips over her own words. And I mean, it's just such a cute and fun scene. And I didn't write everything down that Abby says, but like there's a point where because Abby talks about where she lives in one place and her family lives in
another.
I forget about her family being separated, and Dell's like, it must be hard being separated like that. And Abby's like, it was great, and she sees the look on Dell's face, and Abby's like, no. I mean, what happened to you guys was horrible with Jacob being gone,
Oh my God.
And then they're talking about the country life. And because I think Dell says something to her about, well, city mouse like you wouldn't know something about the country life. And,
right.
And Abby's like, there's too much peace and quiet is boring. And she's like, but not that Port Haven is boring. I love Port Haven. And it's just, it was just a really fun little moment. It didn't really last that long, but it's so cute. And the way that actress played it out was so great with Dell and with, so.
And poor Sam, he's over there laughing, and he kind of helps Abby out by saying he's a city mouse too. So.
Right. Yeah. And Andie MacDowell is so good in it too, because she's kind of, I didn't really take it as like digs, but she's kind of like, well, you wouldn't understand because you're a city person. Right. And, she wasn't really, maybe kind of digging a little bit, but not terribly hard, and it wasn't like mean or vindictive. So.
Right. I agree.
And then Abby talks about how she's only in town to help her dad, with the marketing, and she's going to go back to Toronto. And Elliot is
It's like,
hearing that for
what?
the first time, and he just hadn't really thought about that.
And you can just hear that record scratch.
Yeah. 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 Right.
What? Oh, that was so
So now
good.
they have some things to think about,
Yep.
talk about right after they've professed their love for one another.
Yeah. And then we have Alice in her bedroom, and
Mhm.
apparently she finished a song. She was up all night because she was inspired by seeing Dell and Cole back in the 80s.
Yep.
And who did she text saying, hey, here's my song, You Are the First? It's
She
not
texts,
Noah,
it's
it's
not
Max.
Noah, it's
After
Max.
Max treated her the way he treated her. Are you
Mhm.
kidding me?
And the song is called Already Home.
Yep.
So I have a feeling we're going to hear that at some point.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't. I wish it would have been Noah, but it wasn't. And
And then
then, go ahead.
Alice tells Dell that she saw them when, when Dell was pregnant.
Yes,
And Dell's basically like, I'm glad you got to see that. And
I
she's
know.
really touched by that. And she's
Yep,
happy that Alice got to see her
yep.
happy,
Because
and pregnant.
because that pregnancy brought her in
That's,
the
yeah,
end.
yeah.
And
It
now we
was,
get Jacob. He runs into Abby at the point and tells her, they can make the long distance. This is what's funny to me because, he was living in the 1800s and he's like, we can make the long distance count. They have phones now.
I know. It can
thought
happen. It can work.
I thought that was so
Yeah, it's
funny.
cute the way they play into that. Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then
So,
Abby says she's going to tell her dad the truth.
yeah, because she's going to stay. Aww.
We're going to the truth about her and Elliot.
Right.
Right.
And see what transpires, right?
Right.
And then we have Elliot and Kat walk into the house and they greet Dell, because they jump back to the present time in Alice.
Right.
And then Dell and Sam are on the porch swing. Sam tells Dell, he knows about the pond because Dell is kind of having a moment.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
she's happy that her kids are happy.
Yes.
And she says something about Colton, like, I wish Colton could see this, or something like that.
Right.
And Sam is like, well, why don't you go tell him?
That's right. Yep, he did.
And Dell says,
what? She kind of has that, what? That was so funny.
Go on.
Do tell.
No, she does really look shocked in that moment.
Yeah.
And that's when she realizes that Sam knows.
Yeah. He says, I know about the pond.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we get Kat and Elliot are looking at the papers that Elliot four-fingered and one thumb home.
Okay.
Being arrested.
He stole them, yes.
And Kat asked Elliot why he was looking at all of Fern's articles. And he said he noticed a pattern with her writing. And she was using the T.S. Eliot, kind of writing skills. And she said, Fern, she is just a messenger, right? And
well, Fern had said that.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because that's when you find, because who was it? Was it Kat? Was like, wait a minute, I remember that, right? And then Kat and Elliot figure out what the words and what the key is. The key is the key, which was oh God, what did they call it? A cipher. Thank you. A cipher. Which I thought was really good. And did you write out what it was?
Well, yeah. What's interesting about the cipher is we play that game Hunt a Killer all the time, which we have talked about before. And there are ciphers in that. And I can't believe we didn't think about that. I mean, we thought about
galores.
Like the letter before.
Yeah.
I think it says, and so we were kind of trying to associate that, but it's actually a cipher. So one letter, you go to that letter in a newspaper article, and then you look at the word before or whatever,
Well,
the cipher ends up being.
It was, you looked at the word good, and whatever letter was after that, that's the one you write down.
Right.
Right.
Right. But how did they know which paper to look in?
That's a good question.
Which article to look at? That was my only wait, what?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question, but it happened to be the one where he was arrested,
right?
Known as the Big Fish.
Well, and then they realized Fern was sending codes to Tessa.
Yes.
Through that, and then so it ended up saying NYE New Year's Eve job botched. tunnels destroyed, 5 souls in, 4 out, and Tessa gone.
Right.
So now they're realizing 5 souls went in the tunnel, 4 came out, so
Mhm.
1 did not, and
And
Tessa gone. So is the one person that didn't make it out the same as Tessa gone? Is that,
like it was
are
Tessa
those
who
connected?
disappeared.
Is it Tessa or is it not? See, I think what's going to end up happening is even if Tessa is in the tunnels, I think she's going to end up going to the pond
Right.
and catching up with Elliot, and they're going to jump. That's what I think.
Well, here's who I think is in there. I think it is actually Cliff. I think Cliff is the one
Yeah.
because he's the one that left the letter in the piano, and Fern just thinks he never comes back, that he didn't love her.
Right.
So
So he had to put it in there sometime.
So he had to put it in there before he left for that tunnel. But I think it's him that gets stuck in that tunnel. Now, whether or not he dies or jumps, I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah. And with Tessa gone, well, but Kat would have to be there too if she were to jump. See, I think she's going to end up going back because she will be kind of backed into a corner in
Right.
1925.
And that's why people think she's gone. That's why Fern thinks she's gone.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I agree.
But then but if it says Tessa gone, who's the message for then? Who is Fern sending the message to?
Well, that's a good question. Is
Cliff?
it someone else?
I don't know.
I don't know. We're going to find out. Who do
are
you
those
guys think it is? People out there in the podcast land, who do you think
Yeah.
it is? Leave some comments down below. We love to talk about it. Like to hear
Yep, we'd love to hear
what your
from you.
ideas are. So we kind of had all those revelations, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
We finally
Our-
figured out who went in and who didn't. So
Who
what
went
was
in?
who went in the tunnel? We find out about the tunnel and the explosion.
Well, we've known about the tunnel. We
Right.
still don't know who didn't make it out.
Right. So what was your best moment?
My favorite moment is the dinner scene
Yes.
with Abby, Elliot, Sam, and Del. I just thought it wasn't that.
It was so well written.
I just thought it was so well done and so well played and so real. You know, when you go
Yeah.
to meet
I agree.
the parents of whoever you're dating, it's always nerve-wracking the first time, and you don't want to say anything stupid, and then you end up saying something stupid and you regret it. And so I thought it was great. I thought it was well played. I really liked it. What about you?
Me too. That was my favorite scene too.
Same.
Yep.
Same. All right.
So-
Character of the week. Who's your character of the week?
Man, I got to go back to Fern, man, because I just love her so much.
She's
And
so good.
in every scene she's in, she's like innocent. It's effortless. It's her. For me, it's her in this episode. Who do you think?
She's so good. I'm going to go with Jacob. Just
Yeah,
because I
he
liked
was my
his,
second.
I like the evolution of that character. How he's come to terms with modern day,
Mhm.
how he's dating, but he's still sort of old fashioned because
Yep.
he's still, got the 1800s mindset, which
Yes.
is fine to a point. But then because he does come around to with Abby, he's like, I didn't even consider that you might go back
Right.
to where you were living in Toronto,
Yep.
and he's like, and I know we can make it work. And I just kind of think that shows the evolution of his character. So he's my character of the week.
He was well written.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So out of 5 jumps, how many are you jumping in?
How many are you doing? I want you to go first.
I'm
this
doing
time.
5. This
You're
was
doing
this
5?
was a great episode for me.
I'm going to go 5 also. I think we have, I am so sad that there's only 2 episodes left.
I know.
I'm worried about the final 2 episodes. I don't know what's going to happen.
I hope it's a happy ever after.
I don't know that we're going to get that,
Or they leave a cliffhanger so that somewhere down the road they can reopen this
I
thing.
hope so.
there you
We
go.
have enough characters and storylines. My gracious, we got to
Yeah.
get to the 80s. We got to
Come
come back
on,
just
I
for a movie
know.
about the 80s. Come
Let's
on.
do it. Let's do it, Hallmark.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And again, if you want to help other Hallmark fans find our podcast, you can do that by giving us a 5-star rating over at Apple and Spotify. And if you want to watch us over on YouTube, you can catch us at Pour the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time. Click that bell and the subscribe button, and you'll never miss an episode we release.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok so you don't miss anything going on.
No.
Until next time,
Cheers.